What's up guys, my name is JayJT. Welcome to the channel and welcome to a new episode of Scorestreaks Explained, and today we're going to go over the new score streak that was added with Season 1 called the Harp, aka the High Altitude Reconnaissance Plane, or previously known as the Blackbird or Advanced UAV. The gameplay in the background will be myself with the AK-47 on Crossroad Strike with a close range and mobile setup on the AK, and this gameplay is going to show just how powerful the War Machine and Harp combination are together, and why this is an amazing setup for going for a nuke in Black Ops Cold War, as you'll see later in the video. By the way, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on so you can stay notified about when I post my videos if you like the videos. And if you want to support the channel even further, you can help me continue making content by checking out my Patreon through the link in the description. In this video, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to talk through my gameplay here and kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on in my brain as I'm playing. And this is because there actually isn't a lot of information about the Harp for us to go into. We do have some counters and a few things we're going to talk about later in the video. And I will leave a timestamp in the description and everything for you guys if you want to skip straight to that information and you don't care about the gameplay at all. So that way you guys can do that if you'd like. For those that want to stay and listen to the gameplay, that's what we're going to go over now. So I end up breaking in here, and you see I dropped a triple kill right here. It's pretty nasty on these guys. And I'm just trying to defend B. At this point, I'm not used to having very dominant games in this game. We usually always have extremely competitive games. But right here, I'm just managing to go off on these guys. I got a 7 kill streak right here, and I'm just being a nuisance in their base right here. And I'm just trying to stay out of sight, but still be a nuisance to them without catching too much attention. That's why it's so good to have suppressors on in this game. You can be in their base and killing people nonstop, and they're not going to know where you are since you're not showing up on the radar, and it really helps you out with going on long streaks and stuff. And right here, I get my 10 kill streak, pull out the War Machine, which, by the way, is easily the best kill streak in the entire game. They need to nerf this thing so bad. Just dropped triple kill right there, basically, with it, and got the Harp. And you're going to see it gets really nasty with the Harp and the War Machine at the same time. You pull this out, and you can see where everybody is. Just single tap kill with the War Machine, and you can just rack up the kills with this thing, man. They really need to nerf the War Machine badly. It's not even funny. It shouldn't even count towards your streaks as heavily as it does. But, you know, I'm not complaining as far as this gameplay goes. But, yeah, for future reference, they probably should nerf this thing. But, yeah, we're just sitting here spraying people down, man. I got a 19 streak with that. Got probably like 9 kills with that War Machine. Absolutely ridiculous. But once again, the Harp's still going. We're just sitting here up in the base, being a nuisance to the enemy, preventing them from getting to B. And at this point, I'm in the party with a friend of mine right here who's not actually playing with me. And I'm like getting super excited at this point. I'm like, oh my God, I'm on a 23 streak because I've never actually dropped a nuke before. I've always been an above average player in Call of Duty, but I've never actually dropped a nuke. Even though in this game in Modern Warfare, I'm actually like I was a top 4% player in Modern Warfare, and I'm a top 2.5% player in Cold War, which is better than I've ever done in Call of Duty. So for some reason, I've just gotten a lot better. I guess it's just experience and playing the game over the years. You know, you're naturally going to get better at the game. And but like I said, I've never got the nuke before, but right here at 28, I got 2 more. I'm extremely scared at this point. I'm like, bro, I cannot move. I'm telling my friend, I'm like, I can't talk. I can't respond right now. Got the 29 streak. And then right there, the dude comes around the corner, and I choked the nuke. It would have been my first ever nuke, and I choked it. I was so frustrated. You can just tell by when I spawned, I didn't move. I was literally telling my friend, I was like, man, that is so depressing to get on that 29 kill streak and then die just one short of the nuke. I was just so upset here. But you know what? It was still pretty great gameplay, great experience. You hardly ever get to see this type of stuff. Like, I hardly ever get games like this where you're able to go off, because with skill-based matchmaking, every single game is COD League over and over again, playing for $1 million. And it's just so difficult to get those high streaks and stuff. But I managed to pull it off in this game, but couldn't get the nuke, and I was just so upset about that. The funny thing is, though, The enemy team is actually doing extremely well too somehow against us. Even though I almost dropped that nuke on them, they still managed to do really well this game against my team. But we end up winning this first half of the game, and we end up starting to have to kind of worry in the second half because I guess the rest of my team isn't really doing that good against them. But I started it off by heading over to their spawn, and this guy's just chilling there. I don't know what he's doing. He must have been AFK or something. But I started things off pretty good, coming over here, getting on a little streak to start things off. And my team is kind of not really going for the B flag at first. And we end up having to do things a little bit differently this round because this side of the map that we're coming from isn't the best side of the map to be on. I like coming from the A side. This map is very dominant from the A side. It's very unbalanced for some reason. And it seems like a lot of the maps in Cold War are like this, where one side will be the dominant side of the map, and it's really hard to win from the other side unless you just have a really good team. So when I get on this map, if I'm on the C side, I almost always try to snag the A side as quickly as possible. And if you manage to do that, you're probably going to win the game because the A side is just so easy to hold on to B and defend from because you have all this cover over there right next to B, whereas the C side doesn't really have anything over there to help them. So that's the way I like to play it. And on this round in particular, I don't do nearly as dominantly. I still do really well, but you know, I'm not dropping a 29 kill streak on these guys. They start picking their pace up a lot better and start killing off my teammates pretty good. And I think one of them actually ends up getting a VTOL on us, and I was really shocked. I was talking to my friend in the party, and I was like, bro, how is someone on this enemy team dropping a VTOL? I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm sure plenty of you guys have been in this situation when you get in a game and you're just dominating the crap out of the other team, top of the leaderboard, and then the enemy team starts dropping streaks, and you're like, what is going on? Like, how after all these kills I'm putting on these guys, all this that I'm doing, how are they still dropping kill streaks like these on us? But it happens all the time, especially if you're a way above average player. If you're like a 1.6 KD and higher, you're probably going to be getting a lot of games where the team balance, which by the way, Exclusive Ace and these guys did a video and they found out that the team balance is pretty heavily stacked against you if you're one of these really high-end players, above like a 1.6, 1.7. The game, the way it tries to balance the team is it will basically put the 5 worst players on your team and put the 6 best players on the enemy team. So, and that's going to especially be the case if you're above like a 1.8, 1.9 KD. You're going to notice almost every game is going to be like this. For me specifically, almost every single game I play is like that, where I have 5 teammates that are doing really terribly, and then we're going against the 6 best players in the lobby, and it's absolutely insane having to deal with that. And it really sucks that skill-based matchmaking is like that, but what are you going to do? You got to kind of take it on the chin and move on. Hopefully they'll end up addressing this stuff with this whole address that skill-based matchmaking movement that everybody's going with. But if they don't, the game's I'm still having fun with the game. It definitely is a little bit toned down because of the skill-based matchmaking, facing all these hardcore players all the time. It definitely takes away from the game a lot, but they say it's a lot more fair to the noobs, but really everybody's just reverse boosting and shitting on the noobs anyway, so I don't really get that. I don't really see that as being the case, because people are just going to reverse boost and drop nukes on the noobs anyway. But I ended up getting a war machine there again, and I ended up losing it because I just run around the corner. I was just camping in the corner waiting for me to run around. I was so frustrated by that. But on that note, we're going to go ahead and get into the stats of the Harp. The Harp score streak, if you don't already know, is like a spy plane, except it shows the enemies in real time on the minimap instead of just showing them as a dot every couple seconds, and it shows the directions the enemy is facing as well, and it does this for everyone on your team. So this is an extremely powerful score streak, and it is set at 6,000 scores, so it's attainable for most above average players. And in Cold War, this streak can be taken down, although it will take 5 rockets to take it down. So it'll take a single player multiple lives in most cases, or it'll take a team effort to take it down. The Harp lasts about 45 seconds or so, which means unless multiple players work towards taking it out, you'll most likely get the full use out of it in most situations. There are a few counters to the Harp, however, with the weakest being the Jammer field upgrade. Since it scrambles the enemy radar, if you stay near your own or a teammate's Jammer when the enemy gets close, they won't be able to pinpoint where you are unless they have the Spycraft perk on to counter the Jammer. The counter spy plane works in the same way. It counters the Harp by blocking the enemy minimap completely, unless once again they have the Spycraft perk on. The best counter, however, will be the Air Patrol Score Streak, which will take the Harp down in just a couple seconds after you call it in. That's pretty much all the info I have for you guys for the Harp, since it is a pretty cut and dry score streak. But if you guys enjoyed the gameplay or learned something new, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe with notifications on, and check out my Patreon if you'd like to support the channel further. I'll talk to you guys next time. JayJT out.